Welcome back to the Pour Off Gritter. Today we got a real interesting one for you. What we have right here is an old twin, I believe, box spring. It was in a shed that I bought. Used shed. The contents was mine. But what I'm going to do, what I've already done, I've stripped the material right off of it. Now is a challenge because you're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of staples, which are still pretty much there. I'm not going to pull them. I'm going to cover them up. I'm going to get rid of this, get it out of my way. So what I have planned here, Pour Off Gritter, here I reuse everything that I can get. These boards came off the siding there. We're going to replace that with regular vinyl siding that was given to me. I'm going to use these boards as shelving. I'm going to lay them in here after I tore the guts completely out of this. Then I'm going to repurpose this whole box spring to make a shelving unit out of it. Now all this fuzzy stapley stuff, I'll probably just take some 1x2s or whatever I can find. I'll just nail over that as a decoration. I'm not going to fool with taking them out because it would take me hours to take all these staples out. I have some extra of these boards. I might just strip them down to 2 inches, put them up there. Might even use my sawmill rig. I've got one log there just about the right size. The decisions I need to make is whether I need to notch this and slide it on up in there, each one, which to me, that's a lot of extra effort. But I just want a simple shelf. The other thing is, do I want to cut pieces and put in the excess? There's about maybe a foot on each one, which I could do that. Or I could cut this frame down, bring this part down and cap it off right here. Well, I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to, just for a simple shelf, I think what I'm going to do is just cut those 1-foot boards and put them in here. If I don't have enough juice on the solar for my circular saw, well then I'll just use my chainsaw. I may do that anyway. I use the chainsaw a lot. It saves the energy, saves the gas for the generator when I have to use the generator. But I was going to reuse these screws, but they're very long. It could be hard to hit the broadside of a barn with those. I may give it a shot. But what I'm going to do is start up here. The next one will be down there and the next one up here so that we don't have all the weak part facing. Figured out what was wrong with my drill. I don't, the chuck, this is a brand new drill, it's not even a year old. The chuck in here I think is stripping. And half of what you hear singing is that chuck. And some of it, I just can't buy good drill bits. This is a Braun 20 volt, and these are Braun tips. In my opinion, not worth the money. there's bent screw. I'm only going to tack these in there temporarily, just to see if I like it. Oh, that's contrary. Now this next one, I'm going to come from the bottom up. Now these, I'm turning upside down. This was the weathered side. I'm going to turn it this way. They have a bow for being out there so long. And the way I can take that bow out is sit them in like this. That's what I'm doing. And I hope that's sitting. I think I got a bow somewhere. Something's not right. I don't know if it's the board. It's actually my frame. Woohoo! That went in. Oh, I see the bow. This top board right here. The big bow. This might pull the bow out. Might not. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to... Ooh! Don't know if I'll go down that much. Maybe I should start on that side and work this way. Well, came in below. Not a good idea. Might want to come right where it's supposed to be. Come together. You can kind of see what's going on here. What I'm trying to make. Little art room I've got going on there. Little art studio, I like to call it. Sam's old bedroom. This is going to go in there. If I can push that down and get the screw to hold in here. Of course, I'm going to have the same problem on the back side. That's going to miss completely. Went through the side. That ain't good. May have to wait for that bow to go out of it. This actually ain't bad back here. Oh, that's horrible. That put it down. Look, I keep getting that same bent screw. make an interesting little shelf. Let's see, I'm going to take that out. See if it goes down on its own. It did. This ain't bad. Then another one is going to go on the top. What I'd like to do is edge this off, but I ain't going to. It's only for shelving purposes, not for beauty contest. And what else can you do with an old mattress or a box spring? Not a whole lot you can do with it. That missed. If I had a way to aim these things, it'd really be good. Well, for the first time in a long time, I'm making a video where I haven't just got back from a doctor. I broke it. I broke the board. I put that sucker right through it. Well, I mean, I put it right through it. So, I'm going to come back a ways. Try it again. One way I can do that is put the screw in, back it out, put it in a little deeper, back it out. There. Success. Go back down here where I screwed this one up, literally. We're using the same screws. It's looking pretty. Yeah. That's just the corners. I'm only going to do a few screws because that bow needs to settle down. So I'm only going to put them mostly on the corners. I put a few on that one to hold it down because it was so warped. But now, what I need to do, cut this board into sections. Which means I need to gas up my chainsaw. If I'm a measuring tape, believe it or not, I'm going to use a measuring tape. Cut them, go it done, be done. Now I've got two different ways to hang this. We hang it just like this, keep an open shelf, or I can turn it around this way, that's too heavy, and use it like cubbies. This would be stronger because this would be mounted to the wall. If I use this side, I really should run some divider post here for strength. so it keeps it from bowing. This is really old wood. I'm already dealing with one that's bowed. So I've got that choice. I like this way better. I don't like having to dodge cubbies. If I did that, I'd take the one in the middle out. It would make it a whole lot stronger because we would just mount these into the wall. I don't know. That's tempting. It's a tempting thought. I could actually cut like every other one. That'd give me a lot of support. And the tacked on the outside. That was the case though. I already screwed up. The overhang on this side, it should have been on that side. But I do like that idea. Should I change it? Maybe. Sometimes we get into a project where you realize, hey, maybe it'd work better. But you know what? I come back here and I look at this. If I did decide to do it that way, I don't think I'm going to now. I'd have to take all these boards off, but here's the problem. I'd have to notch around the ones I keep. I'm not into notching right now. Please don't think I don't know what I've done. I've built living room furniture a few times. They worked for years. This is just a project. I saw this box spring sitting up in that shed, and I thought, man, I got to do something with that. And I just sit back and I looked at it and I thought, sure, perfect. Probably use like it is, not put a lot of heavy stuff on it. Unless my wife gets a hold of it, and then she'll fill it full of boxes, and then I'll have to brace it. But right now we're going to go this way, and I'm going to gas up my chainsaw, and I'm going to zip those up. Bear with me, and we'll put you on pause. Okay, I'm back on. I went ahead and saved you the problem of having to hear that chainsaw. Went ahead and cut these. No, they're not perfect, but this was a chainsaw cut. There's a lesson I learned a long time ago. When I built a house up in Minnesota, I didn't have electricity, just like here, but we also didn't have solar back then. So I had to build that house with a chainsaw. I did every rafter, every board, every floorboard, you name it, with a chainsaw. I even cut the studs for the sheetrock with a chainsaw. We were living in a house down below it that had electricity, but not that much extension cord, sorry. It was quite a ways down the hill. But anyway, that's where I learned to control a chainsaw. If you ever cut a piece of wood with chainsaw by measurement, make your line and allow 1/4 of an inch. See, I set this all up. I had 2 10.5s and a 13.5. So I set it up, I marked it out before I sawed. What I did is I made my one line for a 13.5. Then I went over 1/4 of an inch and made another line. Then I did my 10.5, same thing in between those. That saw blade, most saw blades are right at 1/4 of an inch width when you cut. So that way when you cut it, you're in good shape. You'll have your material. You're not losing material. Sometimes I leave a little bit extra, but most of the time it's 1/4 of an inch. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to throw these things on there. I'm going to put the good surface, leave the bad surface behind. Because, you know, later on I might want to file that down or do something with it and make it pretty if I ever paint it or something. But right now, this is how I'm going to do it. I think I got a width difference here. That's my front, so I want it good. Now, if I can put this in without cracking it. Oop, we're doing that. Give me a better screw. There we go. We'll go in so far and then back and back out. That way I don't crack the wood. Going slow. Back it out. Going slow. Back it out. Going slow. Then put some muscle behind it. And I cracked it anyway because I put too much muscle behind it. When did you know? I'm just going to use that back out. It's not that bad a crack. Bring it to the surface. We're good. These are hard to measure. Pretty much got to find it with my finger. Did I find it? I found it. Maybe we're running out of screws. One more screw on this piece. I got a big nick in that one. I don't care. For what I'm using it for, it won't matter. That came right through the front, didn't it? You sat there and watched that, and you didn't tell me. Why? Okay, I'll go over here. That one didn't come through. That one's on. Okay, now I got a couple of 10-inch pieces, 10.5, that I gotta throw on there. Well, it's tight. Let's see if I can tap that down. I wanted it a little tight, but maybe not that tight. Almost cracked that wood off. It's tight. I don't think I ever put a screw in this one. I didn't. Have now. I'm gonna go put one since it's acting up on me. Put one on the front and one on the back. Just playing with me. I don't like this crack that it has formed. Good enough. Now I need one more 10-inch down there, which I'm going to stand up because my back ain't going to handle that. And we'll have ourselves a shelf. Heavy duty, construction grade, ugly, yeah, but it's a shelf, nonetheless. Woo. a bad edge. Carpenter trick. You have a bad edge, no big deal. Take a hammer, bust it down. Now I hope this one fit better than that last one. That last one was a bear to get in there. Uh-oh. I think I measured a little too wide. This is fighting it too. So it's going in. It went in just fine. Except I'm finding out where I didn't tack those other boards at. Perfect for me. No. Close enough. Close enough for my imperfections. Am I going to hit it? I did. I hit that thing. Try one on the back. And I keep getting that crazy. That's true. Oh, I had just the right amount of screws, it looks like. Try my back to you. Ooh, that one didn't want to grip. And it barely caught the wood. Right there you go. There's your basic shelf. Hang on a wall, use some screws into the studs wherever it's necessary. This front part up here, staples. Said before, I'm going to probably rip some boards or do something to cover that up. I'm not going to sit here with pliers, and some of them's in there pretty good. They're in flush with the wood. Man, that's a pain because you scar the wood up too much. So if I'm going to scar it up, then I might as well put something over top of it. Right now, I'm not worried about it. I'll probably get these fuzzy things off, and drive those staples on in there, and maybe put a heavy coat of paint on it. Call it quits. But I just wanted to share with you an idea I had using an old box spring. And believe me, it was old. That and some boards. Reuse the boards, reuse the screws. Got myself a shelf. Put my little art studio. Or for Rosemary's, you know, shelf. But there it is. I hope you enjoyed watching me do this, and I hope, once again, I hope you learned something that maybe you could use. It's not that big a deal. While I'm standing here, I thought I'd share with you another idea I had for this. It's just an old rotten piece of 2x4, but I actually thought about capping this off. Find me some 2x4s like that, cap it off. Of course, it makes it heavier, but you have to use what you have available, and I don't have any 1x available unless I make them. Ooh! That gave me another idea. Nah, I won't do that. I was going to use some of that metal I had around and put on the sides. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Thank you so much. We're out.